Hello everybody, thanks for watching. I'm going to talk about the COVID vaccine because on the 14th we had a fresh set of documents that were released that are coming out of and about both Pfizer and Moderna and their COVID-19 mRNA vaccines. Now, apparently, when they applied for their emergency use registration type paperwork, they both said that when given the shot, the lipid nanoparticles, which was what fired off your immune system to make the spike protein, that those liquid nanoparticles would stay in the arm, and within 72 hours they would be gone from your body, gone from your arm, gone from your body entirely. And Moderna and Pfizer must have got together because they submitted basically identical paperwork saying the same thing. Well, apparently when they were doing their research, both of them found out that those liquid nanoparticles would go to your brain, your heart, lungs, liver, spleen, testicles, ovaries if you're a woman, and all this stuff these liquid nanoparticles would get into. And of course, if they get into all that stuff, nobody knew, if they got into all those organs and stuff, I should say, nobody knew what the final outcome would be. Nobody had researched it, including them. So when they made their reports, they simply omitted that and said it would just stay in your arm for 3 days basically and be gone, which was wrong. Well, for one thing, with those lipid nanoparticles getting into the heart, it costs several different things, and it killed some people. Others that got into the nervous system, and obviously we had people getting maimed and hurt and killed by that too. And now with the studies that came out of South Korea, Japan, and Italy, we now know that the rate of cancer increases by 28% if you took even one shot of COVID-19. And furthermore, we know that they had to use somebody's genes to make the actual vaccination, but other people's DNA got mixed in too, and they left this out, that every gene in your body would be changed forever, and there's no going back. And it's believed they knew that would happen as well. They didn't care. They didn't tell people. They didn't tell people any of this. I think it's criminal. But they were given protections from prosecution. So whether or not they told the truth or not did not matter. The FDA studies were never completed. Well, when the information got out, started getting out, it came out in pieces. over the last year or so. That's when RFK said, wait a minute, these aren't safe. We're not going to inject this into babies, and we're not going to recommend this for anything. And we're going to start withdrawing the COVID-19 vaccine, rightfully so, because we know that the VERS information in this country as to how many people it immediately hurt and or killed was not being updated. That's why the Nordic countries took that vaccination off back in the summer of 2001, because they were getting information about the number of people dying and being turned into invalids and all kinds of other stuff. And now, according to this latest report, they're saying maybe not all, but most of the long COVID was actually being caused by the side effects of this vaccine. Most of what they're calling long COVID is the lingering issues with taking the vaccine. So I agree that no science was followed, and now we found out that both Pfizer and Moderna had lied to the FDA to get their emergency use approval out, so that they could make, hundreds of billions of dollars around the world selling this unsafe vaccination. But now the paperwork from their own studies had to be forcibly put out in public so that people would know that there are major issues around taking this vaccination. Now, some people weren't affected by the vaccination other than having their genes modified, but because everybody that took that vaccination had that happen, and everybody who took that vaccination, the chance of you getting cancer went up by 28%, besides the immediate actions of death or being made an invalid, or there was a number of ways that people were disabled by the vaccine. Around the world there were millions. However, they had protections. The big pharma, Pfizer and Moderna, had protections, and I think AstraZeneca had protections, and Johnson & Johnson. But the people who didn't have protections were all the people who were vaccinated, because you can't sue them. The other thing that has arisen its ugly head from around the world and all these countries, even the United States, is the excess deaths of the people who took the vaccination over a period of time. And some of that was dying immediately, and some of that was getting cancer, and some of that was dying, a lot of young people, especially younger males, dying of basically heart conditions, athletes, runners, football players, it doesn't matter, all kinds of athletes. Suddenly these male athletes, young guys, developed heart issues and died. A lot of them right during a sporting event. So, something to take in. I'm sure this story will be ongoing for years, and that nobody will be able to get financial compensation from Big Pharma, because in order for them to release it, the government had to sign forms totally protecting them from any and all prosecution or civil lawsuits, so they cannot be taken to court. So yeah, they're going to get away with it in this country and basically around the world. They're going to get away with killing, hurting, harming people, and having them die of cancer and other ways contributing to the excess deaths. That's the way it is for today, folks. Wish I had something good to say, but after reading all those pages, there was a lot of pages of ugly. You can go online and read them. You can do a Google search. It's easy to find, and it's ugly. Take care. Godspeed. Bye-bye.